News 10 on Rochester's 24-hour news channel. What does that mean?
It means we bring you the news whenever it happens. When a fatal fire raged out of control on the city's north side, only News 10's 24-hour camera was on the scene. Only News 10 brought you immediate results of the vote on the proposed county sales tax when it was announced just after midnight. Whenever news breaks, News 10 is on the scene to bring the story home to you. Live, local, and up to the minute. News 10, we are Rochester's 24-hour news channel.
Mostly clear, low 57. Tomorrow's forecast on News 10 at 11.
From your 24-hour news channel, here's the latest from News 10.
Good evening, I'm Laury Saxby. The number of injuries has climbed to more than 150 after two big earthquakes hit Southern California today. A toddler died. The quakes hit 3 hours apart. The waiting may be over tomorrow at the Supreme Court. A ruling is expected on a Pennsylvania case that severely restricts access to abortion. And closer to home, an Independence Day celebration in Gates tonight, complete with a skydiving demonstration. That's the latest from your 24-hour news channel. Another update in half an hour. Good evening, I'm Laury Saxby. Terry Anderson's last official appearance this weekend in Batavia was as graduation speaker. They started fires on board the shuttle Columbia today, part of an experiment. And this Monopoly game is all wet. Join us for all the news after the movie. Terry Anderson returns to his high school 27 years later. That's ahead from News 10. Also, our top story, the fallout after two big earthquakes shake Southern California. Patty Sheehan cashes in at this year's Rochester International. And skydivers, not fireworks, fall during Gates' Independence Day celebration early tonight. News 10 is next.
Rain. I used to hate driving in it, but not anymore. My new Pontiac Grand Am has standard anti-lock brakes that help me maintain steering control, especially on rain-slick roads. I looked at Camry Deluxe with anti-lock brakes, but it would have cost over $4,000 more.
And now, Grand Am's an even better value with financing as low as 3.9% for a full 48 months. See your Pontiac performers today.
Pontiac Grand Am. Safety and value.
This is a community of individuals. So at Chase, we get to know our customers and work out a banking plan unique to each of them. One that links everything from no-fee checking to savings to credit cards. It's called Better Banking, because after nearly 200 years, we've learned that the better we know our customers, the better we're able to help them. Stop in or call 1-800-456-6648 and profit from the experience.
It's that time of year. Temperatures are going up and furniture prices are coming down. During Ruby Gordon's sale of the summer, it's the sale of the year because Ruby Gordon guarantees in writing these prices will be the lowest prices of the year. Right now, get sofas, bedrooms, dining rooms, recliners, everything we sell at our lowest prices of the year, guaranteed in writing. Plus, no payments and no interest until October. Ruby Gordon's sale of the summer, the only sale you need to shop this year, guaranteed. Don't miss out.
Kids Night Out for Dare. Call 428-6636.
Live from WHEC-TV, your 24-hour news channel. This is News 10 at 11 with Laury Saxby, Meteorologist John Kay with live Rochester Doppler radar, and Steve Hausmann on sports. This is News 10.
Good evening. The first one was the strongest earthquake to hit Southern California since 1952. But people there tonight are saying it could have been worse. Our top story, two big quakes that struck early this morning. The first, 7.4 on the Richter scale. 3 hours later, a second one almost as strong. The number of injuries tonight has climbed to more than 150. The only death, a toddler crushed by a falling chimney. Keith Morrison has our story.
At the epicenter, a town called Landers, Chad Babcock's backyard was churned up and sank 3 feet, his house tossed around like a toy.
Oh, it's a mess. It's a mess.
And down the road, buckled and split and heaved up the height of a man, a neighbor's house had burned down, brand new, hadn't moved in. At 500,000 gallons of water poured out of a buckled tower. And at a mobile home park, more than half the trailers toppled off their footings.
We just moved here last month. I bet the people that we bought it from are sure glad they sold.
Oh, boy.
Some burned down. And residents wandered outside, afraid to go back in, not sure what to do, while contractors were already roaming around offering to fix it, lining up a busy summer.
It's anywhere from $17,000 to $24,000 to repair the structures based on the extent of damage.
Still, the damage was only scattered, not much to be damage in these small towns. And at Caltech, where officials rushed in from bed to figure out what happened, nobody was more surprised than Los Angeles reporter David Garcia when the second one hit.
All right, now it's really going. Having difficulty in standing up right now.
After that, landslides and physical damage in the mountains in a lake resort called Big Bear. 2 big quakes back to back, and both within a few miles of the dreaded San Andreas Fault.
Rock and roll. Yeehaw!
Both quakes rolled all the way through Southern California and were felt in neighboring states. Though the worst of it was in small towns 100 miles from vulnerable Los Angeles, the high desert hospital had its hands full. More than 90 people were hurt.
We've had a lot of lacerations, a lot of broken bones, several chest pains from anxiety, that sort of thing.
Natural disaster touched the Rochester area, too. There are a number of former Rochesterians who now call Southern California home. We talked with a couple of them today by telephone, and they described their rude awakening this morning. Like those of us who still live here, these former local residents saw most of the damage on TV. They don't live close enough to the epicenters to have witnessed it firsthand. But the shaking and rolling they did experience as far south as San Diego, where Rochester native John Maurizio now lives. He knew it was an earthquake when his bed began rolling and the earth rocking.
When the earth is rocking and rolling like that, you just have no control. You feel helpless. When you live in California, it makes you realize what a little speck you really are on this earth.
My brother-in-law John and sister-in-law Nancy live just south of L.A., near Long Beach. This was the 4th or 5th quake they went through since moving there 3 years ago. Is there a way to prepare?
Absolutely not. I mean, there's nothing you can do to prepare you for them. There's nothing you can do while they happen that makes you feel any better. There's nothing you can grab or do to stabilize yourself because everything's moving.
And things may move again soon. There's a 50-50 chance another big shock could follow the 2 quakes today. President Bush returned to the White House from Camp David this afternoon to be briefed on the California situation. He promises the federal government will do whatever it can to help. Mr. Bush talked with California Governor Pete Wilson by telephone, but there was no request yet for federal aid. Terry Anderson today returned to the high school where he graduated 27 years ago. The former hostage told some 200 Batavia seniors that they can help bring about change. Jim King was at the commencement, Anderson's last public appearance in Batavia during his homecoming weekend.
As these high school seniors move toward the future, Batavia's most famous graduate took a step back in time. 27 years ago, Terry Anderson graduated. But the former hostage spoke to the seniors about the future, explaining that they can make a difference.
If you're not involved in these changes, if you're not doing your best to help things change the way you want them to change, you're not likely to be very happy with the results.
For many seniors, Anderson's message of change hit home.
I really feel that every person here has a chance to improve the world.
Teachers at Batavia High School say Terry Anderson was always a hot classroom topic.
I know in my own classroom, he would often be mentioned, and you look at what was taken away from him and to be thankful for what we have today.
At the end of his speech, Anderson sent a message of his own, snubbing the recent Supreme Court ruling prohibiting prayer during commencement ceremonies.
May the Lord bless you and keep you.
Afterward, he spoke about why he did it.
I know the principle on which the Supreme Court decision was made, the separation of church and state. It's a basic principle of our country. Sometimes you wonder how far you have to go. I don't think it hurts kids to give them a little blessing.
So the message from Terry Anderson is it's not only the high school diploma that's in their hands, it's the future of our country. Jim King, News 10.
An Ontario County car dealership was damaged by fire this afternoon. Sheriff's deputies say a prospective car buyer spotted the blaze in the showroom of Henry Olds on routes 5 and 20 in Geneva. Firefighters managed to confine the damage to the showroom area. No word on a damage estimate tonight, but the suspected cause is believed to be careless smoking. A Geneva man died in a 2-car crash this afternoon in the Seneca County town of Fayetteville. Sheriff's deputies say Vincent Augustine ran a stop sign and was hit by an oncoming car. The 45-year-old was taken to Strong Hospital but later died. His son John was a passenger. He was treated and released. The 2 people in the other car were as well. They are from Illinois. Confirmation tonight the body found in southern New Jersey is that of missing Exxon executive Sidney Riso, and authorities say they'll charge 1 or 2 people with his murder. Riso's body was found in a shallow grave near the Jersey shore. Police say Irene Seal took them there. She and her husband Arthur are charged with kidnapping Riso. They claim the 57-year-old died of natural causes 5 days after his April 29th abduction. Officials say anyone held against his will who dies in captivity doesn't die of natural causes. Here in New York, state troopers have a new contract. Officials say a tentative 4-year deal has been reached with the union that represents about 3,000 members of the state police. The agreement is retroactive to April of last year with no raises the first 2 years. The first salary increase, 4%, would come next April. Well, it's now about 44 minutes after 11, a little later than usual, a little closer to morning for our first glance, John.
Sure, easier to forecast anyway. It looks like it's going to be perfect. Mostly sunny skies. Temperatures mild, about 63 degrees, and I'll be back in just a few minutes with the rest of tomorrow's forecast.
All right, John, thanks. We'll see you then. Tomorrow's the day court watchers have waited for. Ahead on News 10, a preview of an expected high court ruling on an abortion case. We'll check in on what shuttle astronauts were up to today, and later on, go underwater for a game of Monopoly.
News 10 is brought to you by the Dorsal Automotive Group.
Kathy, what's helped you become a winner in speed skating?
My good old-fashioned hard work made me a winner, Rick.
And here's a winner for you.
A 92 Cutlass Sierra, rated the #1 American-made automobile in the 92 J.D. Power survey. This roomy 6-passenger Sierra comes fully equipped at a great Dorsal price. Only $12,997 delivered.
You know, it sounds like Dorsal customers are real winners, too.
That's right, Kathy. The Dorsal Automotive Group, West Henrietta Road across from Marketplace Mall, and half a mile south.
Health experts say if you exercise 30 minutes a day, several times a week, you can improve the quality of your life. Well, they just may be right.
Join Valley's Holiday Fitness Centers now for our best offer yet, 50% off our Premier Plus membership. Call 1-800-WORKOUT.
There's magic in a kiss, a cuddle, a squeeze, a snuggle, a touch, a hug, a nibble, a nuzzle. There's nothing like the magic of Marineland, Niagara Falls, Canada. Yeah.
In the real world, what stands between you and summer good times? Most often it's money, but it doesn't have to be that way. Get a Plymouth Sundance America during the summer best of values. Automatic, power steering, power brakes, stereo, a driver's airbag, all for a great summer price. Now that's the way to free up your cash. So go ahead. Get the works on that hot dog. 4 kinds of sunblock. Hey, you can afford them. You've got real advantages for the real world with a Sundance America. See your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer today.
All eyes in the abortion battle will be on the nation's high court tomorrow. A decision is expected on a Pennsylvania case that severely restricts access to abortion. Here in Western New York, we've seen firsthand the emotions that come from those on both sides of this issue. While the Pennsylvania case, Planned Parenthood versus Casey, doesn't outlaw abortion, it does lay out restrictions that include parental consent and a 24-hour waiting period. In Washington, court watchers waited all last week outside the Supreme Court. Here in Rochester, local advocates are watching as well.
I don't believe it's going to change the way people, generally how people think, because the Supreme Court is making a legal decision based upon what they feel the Constitution says. People are people, and people change from one generation to the next.
It means that the fundamental right of women to choose whether or when to carry through a pregnancy will be taken away, and that women's lives will be at risk.
Tomorrow is the last day of the High Court's current term, and a ruling is expected unless the justices are so divided they decide to have the case re-argued next term. Representative Louise Slaughter made it official this evening. She is running again for Congress. The Democrat announced her intentions at a picnic for her at Genesee Valley Park. Local Republicans yesterday endorsed former county lawmaker Bill Polito to run against her in the newly formed 28th District. A brave step by the President of France today. Francois Mitterrand flew by helicopter to the war-torn city of Sarajevo. He landed in the middle of armored personnel carriers and nearby shelling. The heavy fighting has closed the airport in Sarajevo, preventing needed humanitarian aid from getting in. 2 French Air Force planes with 13 tons of supplies were diverted to Croatia today because of that fighting. High above the Earth, the history-making mission of the shuttle Columbia continued today with astronauts starting fires on board. It was one of several experiments being done in the billion-dollar laboratory on the shuttle. The crew singed polyurethane in a special chamber to see if the flames flared or suffocated in zero gravity. The crew also got a look at the Russian space station today. It passed about 64 miles above Columbia. Some interesting information tonight about high blood pressure and your memory. After 20 years of research, scientists say treating high blood pressure may cut down on memory loss in some people. The researchers say people should treat high blood pressure not just to live longer, but to preserve their mental capacity. Well, Sports Sunday is still ahead tonight with a complete wrap-up of this year's Rochester International. But next, John Kay is back with your Monday morning forecast, and it'll make you smile.
Make the move to Ford quality and value. Ford Tempo, with a sporty new look and available V6. And this Tempo comes with air, AM/FM cassette, power locks, and more. Plus, now save $2,300 with auction savings and cash back. Or choose this Tempo 4-door, loaded for under 11 grand. Come on, it's your best time to buy, but you better hurry. Make the move to your local Ford dealers and find out just how good American quality can be.
Darkness stirs and awakens your imagination. Celebrate the Phantom of the Opera at the glorious Pantages Theatre in Toronto. By Phantom by phone, 416-872-2222.
This summer, I want to feel the wind in my hair.
I want a roof over my head.
Hey, what's wrong with a little adventure?
What's wrong with a little luxury?
You'll find both at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer during the summer festive values. Choose a Chrysler LeBaron convertible for pure open-air excitement, or LeBaron sedan for elegant, affordable luxury. But no matter where your vacation takes you, don't leave without real advantages for the real world from the summer festive values. See your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer today.
Well, it may be a week early. July 4th is next weekend, but they did it up big tonight in Gates. A highlight of that community's annual Independence Day celebration, skydivers free-falling onto the athletic field at Gates Chili High School. The Recreation and Parks Department sponsored the festivities, which also included lots of good food, musical entertainment, juggling, a whole variety of things to keep the young and old alike interested. It all wrapped up just over an hour ago with a spectacular fireworks display. And what a beautiful night they had for that, John.
Perfect night. Mild temperatures, clear skies. Temperatures were in the 60s. Couldn't ask for more than that. With all that good food around and the people coming down in the parachutes.
How about a nice Monday?
You got it. Why not? Let's go outside now and take a look at the current conditions. The temperature now downtown, 63 degrees. The humidity, 78%. Dew point temperature, 56 degrees. The barometric pressure is steady from 29.97. And those winds are from the south, a mild breeze at 6 miles per hour. Live Rochester Doppler radar not showing any precipitation, which is good, and it looks like it will continue this way for the next couple of hours. But it looks like by Monday night, we may pick up an isolated shower. Let's talk about some numbers now around the state. In the middle 60s, last hour, 65 in Elmira, 66 in Binghamton, 71 degrees in New York City. Clear to partly cloudy skies throughout the entire region. Today's high in Rochester was 76 and the low was 52. Tomorrow's highs should be in the lower 80s, 82 degrees to be exact, and 80s are going to be throughout the Mississippi Valley, back down into the Rockies, and also along the west coast. But very warm just south of the Four Corners and also over Texas. Here are the clouds, lots of them in the midsection of the U.S. This is an upper level low pressure system. It is away from the earth. It is in the upper levels of the atmosphere, producing softball size hail in some of the embedded thunderstorms. Severe weather is now occurring right here, folks, and it is slowly going to move towards the east, but over the northeast, just partly cloudy skies and some clear skies just to the west. These clear skies will be the story for tomorrow. Some more shower activity over the northeast. Put the clouds into motion. Just a few high clouds passing over us now, making a perfect night. Just partly cloudy skies to clear skies in some sections. But as we go further west, we have more clouds to the north of the Great Lakes. That could be the story for Monday night. Partly cloudy skies, a possible passing shower or a thunderstorm. Monday's forecast map, mostly sunny skies all along the east coast. A few showers well west of here. But like I said, these showers will most likely begin to work on in. Partly cloudy skies Monday night, perhaps a passing shower or a thunderstorm. The forecast, though, for the rest of tonight, mostly clear skies, about 57, a southwest breeze, 10 to 15. During the day on Monday, lots of sunshine, warm, about 82. The 5-day plan shapes up like this on Tuesday, perhaps a shower. And temperatures are going to be in the middle 70s, Wednesday 77, Thursday 79, and warming up as we close the work week. But a shower is in the forecast, 81 degrees.
Pretty good week, actually. You know,
let's ask Steve if he's going to play golf tomorrow.
Well, that's right. It's been a while since we asked him that on Sunday night.
Well, I am, oddly enough.
Yeah, I know.
There's a surprise.
Tomorrow, well.
But if, you know what? If they weren't playing golf, or when you finished watching the golf this afternoon, Red Wings were playing, right?
They took a double dip, though. We'll show you that. And one more time, we will see and hear from the toast of Rochester. Sports Sunday/Monday is next.
News 10 is brought to you by Colonial Williamsburg.
And now the news from the 18th century.
Courtney! Forward!
In Colonial Williamsburg, the militia was ready to defend liberty. At Shields Tavern, the Jacksons were enjoying their second honeymoon. And at Carter's Grove Plantation, a new life was being celebrated. Come to Colonial Williamsburg. For your free vacation planner, call 1-800-HISTORY.
This is a community of individuals. So at Chase, we get to know our customers and work out a banking plan unique to each of them. One that links everything from no-fee checking to savings to credit cards. It's called Better Banking. Because after nearly 200 years, we've learned that the better we know our customers, the better we're able to help them. Stop in or call 1-800-456-6648 and profit from the experience.
The soft economy and declining home sales across the country have left many of America's leading carpet mills severely overstocked. What a perfect time for Max Pies to step up and buy out trailer loads of first quality carpet at unheard of volume discounts. 40, 50, 60, up to 70% off. Not a penny more for pads. Not a penny more for installation. Not a penny in interest for 6 full months at our massive trailer load carpet sale. Ending tomorrow at Max Pies.
Drive. It's what every Olympic athlete needs to win the gold. Now, you too can win at the Jeep and Eagle National Drive for the Gold sale. Save up to $29.75 on a rugged Jeep Cherokee. Get an Eagle Talent with up to $1,500 in cash back savings. Or get $500 cash back on a classic Jeep Wrangler. So hurry to the National Drive for the Gold sale and experience the thrill of saving.
Get the advantage at your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Well, Patty Sheehan is counting another 60,000 Rochester dollars as she ran off with what many are calling the best Rochester International ever. It was a record week for money raised and attendance at Locust Hill, and a memorable week for Patty. She started with that 9-shot lead and drained a birdie on the second hole to go 19 under. She did bogey the 6th, but she came back with 2 straight birdies at 8 and 9, this one coming at 8. The one at 9 dropped her to 20 under. But a bogey on the backside prevented her from breaking the all-time LPGA tournament record. Still, she came up 18 with the best score ever at Locust Hill, 19 under. She finished with a round of 71, easily won her 3rd Rochester International in 3 years.
You don't really have to be quiet over this glass.
And Rick Hager talked with her after this celebration.
When you get a 9-shot lead, everyone thinks that you're going to cruise and it's really easy and everything, but it's really a lot more difficult than you'd think. You can't let down at any minute because there's someone else that's trying to catch up with you, and you start making mistakes, and you all of a sudden lost your lead. So I had to keep grinding and keep trying to make birdies and get it up and down for pars where I could, and fortunately I played pretty well today.
Talk about the feeling of coming up 18. I'm sure the average golfer can just imagine. Well, what is that like? I know you pointed to your arms. You had the goosebumps coming up there.
It's kind of undescribable. The cheers that are coming from the galleries are just tremendous, and the love that you get from the Rochester people and the surrounding folks, it's just incredible. I mean, there's really no way to describe it. It's just a wonderful, loving feeling.
I think you can call it a $60,000 feeling, Patty. We checked some of the other scores. Nancy Lopez coming on strong to bag second-place money. Michelle McGann slipped back a bit today. Joanne Carner finished 17 strokes back. Defending champ Rosie Jones is never really a threat this time around. Kathy Moore's pockets $3,900, and Lisa Brandetsis, the amateur from Perry, finished at plus 18. And at the end of the Sportscast, we'll take a final peek at the Rochester International as seen through the camera eye of sports photographer Todd Hayes with the music of Vanessa Williams as we save our best for last. David Frost is the winner at the Buick Classic after a 66 today, an 8-stroke win over Duffy Waldorf. U.S. Open winner